Hello everyone and welcome to Rob's Rogues 100, my 100th video review. Now even though technically I think my counter on videos that I've uploaded is actually like 107, sometimes I'd put on a video that it's like a preview video of stuff that's coming up, and then I will eventually take that video down once I have the video series that I'm actually talking about, or my Rob's Rogues introduction. I didn't actually count that as the first video. The review video, the second video, Rob's Rogues 1, is actually the second video. So I guess it depends how you count them there. I have some two-part videos, but far as review sake, this is the 100th thing that I have reviewed. Boy, that was a complete mouthful. So for the 100th review that I have here, we are obviously looking at Robin from the Teen Titans cartoon series from not that long ago. It actually may be 5 years ago. This particular figure came out in 2004, and I'm not sure if it predates the show or if it's right around exactly when the cartoon series was on. But he's in the box, as you could tell. I have had him. I've at least had this since 2006, I think, is when I actually picked this Robin up. And for the 100th video, I wanted to do something a little bit different, special, if you will, and kind of look at another side of the collecting that I do from another way. A lot of us buy figures out of box, or we open them up. There are some of us collectors out there that do have mint on card, or basically things that we've never opened or we're not planning on opening. So that's actually what this is going to be, that I've thought about trying this, is doing an in-box review. And I think I've had this since 2006. The marking on the package actually says, it's really tiny here, 2004, if you can see that at all, as at least when this was produced. And I know there's a good portion, a good amount of people out there that buy things that they just have on their shelf that they, for whatever reason, don't plan on opening, whether they think it's going to be worth more in the box as opposed to out of the box. I think at the end of the day, things are always going to be at better value if they're never opened. It'd be like if somebody never opened a pack of baseball cards from the 1940s and it was sealed and never opened. That's going to be astronomical as opposed to opening it up and knowing what's inside. As somebody may be saying, Rob, this figure probably isn't worth anything. If you were to go to Amazon right now and look up the Teen Titans 10-inch Robin, he's selling for $24.97, and there are 5 left in stock. So if you thought about picking this up for whatever reason, you could still buy him, but you're going to pay $24. Back in 2006, when I bought this figure, it was marked down at Walmart. I'm not sure what the original price was, so you have to forgive me on that, but I paid just a little over $10 for this figure. And one of the reasons I decided to leave it in the box, I didn't have anybody else from the line. This Robin was a huge figure to have displayed. Plus, I liked the artwork of the package. You could see the other Titans down here, and they're basically a silhouette, or their primary color, and just their highlights of their costume are shown. Kind of get in here a little bit. As you can see, we have Beast Boy, Starfire, Robin, Cyborg, and Raven. There she is. I wasn't a real big fan of the show, as big of a fan as I am of Robin. I really didn't watch the show that much. It was, the Japanese anime style, so, after coming off, Batman the Animated Series, this was a little bit different. Actually, a lot of it different in style and just the overall theme and the span of the show that was, really geared towards kids than it was us older kids, as it were. So I didn't really watch much of it, and they really didn't do any reference to Batman, even though this is Robin. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but they didn't ever say if it was Dick Grayson or Tim Drake. I think in the latter seasons of Teen Titans, we see a future where we do realize it is Dick Grayson because he has become Nightwing in their alternate future or whatever had happened. Like I said, I didn't really watch the show, but I did like the look of this figure, and it was a figure that, if it had been on the store shelves since 2004, excuse me, at the time going to my local Walmart, it wasn't until 2006 that I actually bought this figure. And I looked at it from time to time, so it sat for a good 2 years and nobody bought it. I'll take a look at some of the rest of the package. There is a little read up here. If I turn the light on, if it's going to blur it out at all, we'll find out. Looks like it might work. It says, the story of the Teen Titans. When there's trouble, you know who to call. Teen Titans. From their headquarters at Titans Tower, the hottest heroes in town fight aliens, robots, evil masterminds, and each other for the last slice of pizza. Robin, Cyborg, Starfire, Beast Boy, and Raven. 5 unstoppable teenagers sworn to protect the Earth and ready to kick some serious evil. Join the high-octane adventures and kick danger where it counts. Teen Titans Go. So there's the little write-up on the back of the box. And there is a little write-up. Oh, turn the light off there. On Robin. We'll raise the camera a little bit. I have to actually get the box in a little bit closer. And probably turn the light off. Try to get it out of the light there. It says, daring mastermind, resourceful, martial arts, acrobatic, speed, and utility belt full of gadgets is all he needs to take you down in a heartbeat. Robin. So, acrobatic, that was the, I guess, the hint that it is Dick Grayson. Like I said, never really watched it. The other 10-inch figures that you can get in this line are, of course, Robin, Cyborg, and Starfire. I think maybe I said Firestar. That would have been Spider-Man and the Amazing Friends. Then they have the 5-inch figures down here. And we can see Action Sound Cyborg, Shark, I can't read it that far away. Shark Shifting Beast Boy, SD Action Robin. And we have a Gyro Spinning Cyborg and Puppet Robin, as Robin is the main figure. Then there's other vehicles down here. We have the T-Sub, the T-Booster. I get it in frame here. T-Sub, T-Booster, Claw Crawler, and Drill Driver. Again, it says collect them all. And then they have the side panels here on the box. And then a picture of the actual figure. Now, without looking at anybody's review, I did try and look and see if I saw anybody on YouTube, and I wasn't coming across anybody. But just from looking inside the box, he has no leg articulation. His arms move, and there is a waist articulation, as you can kind of see the line through the torso here. And I'm guessing the head probably moves, but I'm not quite entirely sure. Size comparison, like I said, this is 10-inch. So here is the DCUC Robin figure. So as you could tell, he is definitely tall. That is pretty much the review that I have. Like I said, I know there's quite a few collectors out there that will buy stuff, keep things in box. This was something I originally thought about opening, but I just never got around to opening it. And then as more time passed, I started realizing, you know, he kind of looks cool in the box. I don't have anybody else really to set him up with. There was no, obviously, Batman in my line. I didn't have Cyborg or Starfire. I really didn't have a space on a shelf, so to speak, that I could have him stand with other Robins. You know, if I just had all my Robins standing together, maybe I would have had him out of the box. But I do have other Robins in a box, so he's kind of on a shelf with other Robin figures and other things that I have that are still in their box. And every now and then I'll have family and friends come over and they'll look at it and go, wow, you have stuff in boxes too. And I have a whole bunch of Star Wars figures in a box and just all different kinds of stuff that I, for whatever reason, had decided, you know what? I'm not going to open it. I like it better in the box, or I didn't have a place to display it. And plus, also being able to keep it in a box. If I decide to pack it away somewhere, I know that the figure is going to be fine. I wrap the box in bubble wrap or plastic, so that way nothing gets dinged and scratched. And as you could tell, for at least originally being made in 2004, and I've had it since 2006 on a shelf, other than some dust on the box is still in very, very good condition. I've seen this figure on eBay go as high as $82, so evidently there must be some intrinsic value that somebody thinks it's worth $82. Like I said, if you do want this figure for yourself, you can go to Amazon right now and pick it up for $24, or basically $23. So, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to do more of these in-box reviews or not, but I thought that it might be something kind of cool to kind of at least look at collecting on the other side of the coin, as there are a lot of us that review stuff that are in boxes or out of box, and we'll do all the articulation and everything. There's a good hand of collectors out there that buy things right from the shelf, and it goes on their shelf, from the store shelf to maybe a box in their closet, or maybe a shelf in their house, and they keep things in their box. So this is kind of honoring those collectors too, and I do have things myself, like I mentioned, that are in a box. So I've managed to at least do 11 minutes and 40 seconds of a video of talking about a figure that I really can't get out of the package, and really can't tell you what he feels like and how he moves, because I'm keeping him in his box. So that's going to be it for Rob's Rogues 100. Stay tuned, because I've got something different coming up next. So today we've been taking a look at the 10-inch Robin from Bandi Toys. The 10-inch Robin, Teen Titans. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues, signing off saying we will see you guys next time.